Okay, then I could take the first question since that's
Go
what
ahead.
everyone's been doing.
Go ahead.
Cool. Okay, hi Tyler, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Great. Cool. So, just as Melody said, we just have a couple questions, and so I'll start here with just a little bit about your background. So, can you tell me what you were doing before Year Up, how you heard about the program, and then why you decided to join?
Of course. So before Year Up, I was working in the tree industry. I was working with the Lake County Fire doing disaster relief. So I managed some crews. I did customer tickets. So they had issues with the logging or needed cleanup done, I would contact them, set that up. And I also ran line inspection. So I'd walk the power lines, make sure there's no dangerous trees that were going to hit the lines or anything like that. I heard about Year Up through my friend John Heisenberg. He went to the San Jose campus. He's currently in internship. Told me about it. I really love technology, and I just wanted to pursue it. So I quit my job and moved down here.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I want to steal his resume because I have a question. But you can ask him the next question, and then I'll ask you the other one.
Sure. So speaking of that, so you've made a jump in your career from working with disaster relief into tech. Why are you interested in tech? Why do you want to work in tech?
Well, I've been interested since I was a kid. I had a cybersecurity competition in high school, and that really sparked my interest. And I was just really, after that, it became my hobby and my passion. I couldn't find an outlet to pursue cybersecurity, especially. And as soon as I heard that Europe offered cybersecurity, I jumped on the opportunity.
No way. What was the competition like?
So it was high school competition, had 5 members, and it was through the Air Force called Cyber Patriot. They gave us virtual boxes for us to solve. They would have so many things wrong with it, and we'd have I think 10 hours to solve it. Whoever solved it fastest and solved all the problems won the round.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's cool.
Did you have a follow-up?
No, my question was just around, you worked at disaster relief at Lake County. Was that specifically in regards to the fire that happened?
Yeah.
What was that, like a year and a half ago now? Or just about a year ago?
Just about a year ago. Yeah,
Okay.
specifically before that, I was working with the same company. I was just doing groundsman work for the tree company, so drag and brush, working on a chipper, working on a chainsaw, just manual labor.
So how has the shift been from doing like very physical labor to being like on a computer?
It's been challenging at times because I have to stay busy. I can't handle not doing something, and so it was easier when you go into manual labor. You just put your head down, you pull the brush, do work all day. So other than that, it's been great. Doing something I love. It's not. I wake up every day and I enjoy coming here, so I love it.
Cool.
Great.
Okay.
Those
were off-script questions.
No problem. Speaking of coming here every single day, there always are some challenges for students in different ways. So could you describe maybe a challenge that you had during learning and development, what you did to sort of address that or overcome that, and then how you're planning on continuing that in the internship phase?
Right. So it's a great question. I think the problem I had was, I would say, my time management, coming from waking up and just going straight to work and seeing what you have to do that day, like here's this tree, put it on the ground, cut it up, shape it by the end of the day, right? So now I have this assignment and I'm looking at it like, okay, this will only take 2 hours. Well, it took 3 hours, so it's just working on my time management skills, and what I've done is I make sure I keep a very detailed planner. Every morning I look at it and clear it up at the night, so it's been helping a lot. I don't think I've had any missing assignments or late assignments, so that's just my plan.
Great. And then you're gonna, I'm assuming, plan to continue to do that?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, great. So I know that you all aren't in tracks yet, but I imagine that you have an interest in cybersecurity, given what you're talking about. Could you tell me what makes you a very strong candidate for cybersecurity specifically?
Right. So cybersecurity specifically, I love knowing how things work. I really get paid into small details, and I can solve problems critically. Like I can think about it, analyze it, and find different ways to solve that problem.
Is there any sort of like example or story that you could tell me to kind of back that up?
Yeah, definitely. Straight up from the cybersecurity competition, we had an example where 3 of my colleagues couldn't figure it out. See if I can kind of explain the situation. It was, we had a file on the computer, and it was a virus, and they tried on installing it, and it kept popping back up. So they were searching Google and they tried a bunch of different ways. I was like, wait a minute, we don't need anything on this computer. Why don't we just system restore the computer? And so it was just a simple, different approach instead of kind of taking a step back and just reinstall the whole thing, make it one quick, easy swoop.
Interesting. Cool. Great. Okay, so those are just some background questions on you, and I don't know if Melanie or Lauren, you want to jump in some more.
Do you want to go or?
I
Okay, go ahead.
can do it.
You seem ready.
Okay, so my question for you is, imagine that you were asked to organize a room with a lot of tech equipment. What tools and processes would you use to keep track of what's there and what gets taken out?
First of all, I would organize everything in the room, take note of what is there, and then have it right by the door so every time something went out, check it off that it went out.
Mhm.
That's about it.
Okay. And what kinds of things would you put on the checkout form?
Oh, I would just, so I'd list everything that's in the room, all that we have. I'd put out and in, and just have a check mark where it would go out.
Okay. So you mentioned that you always like to be busy doing something.
Yeah.
So I want you to imagine that you have a remote manager who is always busy and super very difficult to reach. You have a lot of downtime as a result on your internship, and you're not quite sure what to do with that downtime. Walk us through some immediate steps that you would take to address this concern, and then also walk us through some longer term plans.
So first of all, immediate plans, I would go to my team, see what I can do, see if I can help them, just find something to do to be productive and help everybody else around me if I'm finished with all my work. Long term, I'm always going to email my manager. Know he's busy, hard to reach, so he can respond to email at any time he needs. Just let him know that, hey, I'm done with my work, I have a lot of downtime, kind of get some extra work to be productive. And other than that, yeah, just try to get in contact with them. Doesn't have to be right away because I'm going to go to my team first and see what they need.
What do you think is what makes you stand out among your peers?
What makes you stand out among my peers is I'm going to outwork him. Simple as that. I love the hard work. I was kind of raised into it. My dad owned a small tree company when I was young. I started working when I was 10 or 11, and he accepted nothing but the best. So that kind of transferred everything that I do in my life. So just outwork.
Cool.
What did you do for at 10, 11?
Drag brush.
Drag brush.
Yeah. Yeah.
I noticed in your resume that you were all over the place when you worked for the Utility Service Inc. You went from Yuba City all over the area. What was that like to just kind of be moving all over Northern California all the time?
It was really interesting. So, of course, I've only lived in Grass Valley, or I lived in Grass Valley all my life. I visited Santa Barbara when I was younger, so that's the biggest city I've really been in.
Mm-hmm.
And then starting work, it was like, oh, this is cool. But we're usually out in the woods, hauling wood, so it's pretty interesting. I remember my first time I was in Orinda hauling wood. It was a very, very nice place. It was really interesting. I loved it. So kind of sparked my reason why I also wanted to live down here. Is I love the city.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. All right, another question. You talked a lot about work ethic and about how you were working with your dad. He required the best of you.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd love to hear about a time, either working for your dad for that company or for someone else, where you did more than was required for the job.
So I thought the tree industry was my life, right? I was like, my dad did it, my grandfather was a logger, I'm going to move up, and this is going to be me. So I was working with Martinez Utility. We were doing disaster relief, and we were short-staffed because it was quick notice that we got put on the job, and we needed people out there 24/7 to be working. So I was like, this is my company, I'm going to own this company one day, I'm going to do whatever it takes. I worked 2 months straight, no days off, every day, just to get up there, and I just went above and beyond, made it happen.
Cool. And what happened as a result of that?
The company actually shut down. But for me personally,
they were shelling out too much money.
Yeah.
No, continue. Sorry.
For me personally, my boss noticed. He patted me on the back, and but we knew it was going down. I didn't know personally; they knew it was going down. So all they could do was really give me a pat on the back, say good job, and they helped me. They said they'd help me find a job within Davie, which is another tree company that my boss actually moved to if I needed it. So paid off if I went that route. But yeah,
But you did. Yeah. Cool. All right. Any other questions? Tyler?
No, I think so.
We're ready to move on to tech. Cool.